I wish you could all taste this. I'm just gonna keep eating spoonfuls of it. Okay. Oh, that is awesome. My name is Kwasi Kwaa, chef partner with Comfort Kitchen, and today we're gonna be frying a whole snapper. This particular time we're gonna do Suya pepper. Suya pepper is something that's very common in West Africa. It's also one of the things that fascinates me is the fact that everywhere you go, there is some kind of spice mix that's particular to that region. You know, West Africa we have Suya. You know, Southeast Asia you got curry, and I'm still always perplexed by how many different curries there are specific to each region. With this Suya, one of the things I found about Suya was that it had peanuts in it, and I wanted to eliminate the peanut but still maintain that flavor profile that Suya has. So generally in West Africa we cook Suya with meat, chicken, beef, pork. It's never really done with fish. And with meat, that nutty flavor is perfect. But with fish, I don't think it is. So usually when I cook Suya with meat, I would, baste it in brown butter just to kind of achieve that, nutty notes in the flavor. But today we're gonna be using our house-made Suya, which is really equal parts ginger powder, garlic powder, your pepper of choice. In my case, I am kind of obsessed with bird pepper. So we use bird pepper for that, a little bit of smoked paprika. And if you're making Suya at home and you choose to add peanuts, you want to roast it and grind it till it's a fine powder. When you pick up your snapper at the store, a couple of things with fish, and this is not just with snapper, it's with every fish. When you go to the store to pick up a fish, you want it to be fresh, right? Fresh fish. The skin bounces back when you push on it. You want the eyes, make sure the eyes are clear and not cloudy. If your fish has cloudy eyes, that means it's not fresh. Also, one of the things you want to check if you're getting a larger fish especially, you want to check behind the gills. If the gills are bright red, that means it's fresh. If it's any other color then, your fish is not fresh. First thing we're gonna do with this fish is score it. And usually when you score any type of protein, you don't want to cut deep into the actual body. But in the case of fish, you want to, because you want to get all that spices in there. So the fish is evenly, evenly seasoned all the way through. So we're gonna cut a couple of slits here. We're gonna go deep, but not too deep, right? All the way through, and then you're gonna turn it over. Do the same on the other side. All right. Now what we're gonna do is, we have our Suya here. We have a little bit of salt here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is rub the whole fish with the salt. And in this case, because I already have salt in the Suya pepper, I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I want it to get into the crevices of the slits that we have, just so that it's evenly seasoned, right? Because you don't want one part of your fish to be nice and have the perfect flavor, but then when you get to another part of it, it's just bland, right? We go all over the top, right? So now that we're all salted up, one thing you want to do is make sure your oil is preheating before you get to the final stage of seasoning, right? Because once it's all set, you want to be able to go right into the oil. And you don't want the oil to be crazy hot, but you want it to be hot enough that the skin crisps up. And that's generally you're looking at between 325 to 350. Now keep in mind, when the cold fish goes in the oil, it will drop the temperature of the oil. So you want to keep an eye on it. You know, the more it bubbles, obviously the hotter the oil is, and the less it bubbles, then you can know to adjust your temperature from there. Okay? So now we're gonna go with Suya seasoning. Again, you want to rub it all around. Here's our snapper out of the oil, and if you tap it, you get that nice crunchy taste, especially on the bottoms here. When your snapper comes out of the oil, very important, you don't want it to go on a flat surface. You want it to go on a wire rack over a pan, so all the excess oil will drip out. You don't want to put paper towels or any of that stuff on it, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna create more moisture, and it'll kind of ruin this crispy skin that you've created with the hot fryer oil. One of the things you also don't want to do is when it's on a wire rack, the air is circulating, so the bottom is cooling just as much as the top is cooling. You know, one of the common things about a lot of cultures when it comes to sauces is almost every culture has their own version of some type of herb sauce, right? You have the chili sauces, and then you have herb sauces that are, you know, are a combination of herbs and those chilies. So you have like your chimulas, your chimichurris, and piri is generally a red sauce, but in Malawi they have a version of it where they add herbs to it, and that's the version we're gonna do today. For this sauce, we're gonna use some cilantro, parsley, scallion or green onion, and we're gonna add also a combination of, this is white onion, garlic, and ginger. I usually keep this on hand already kind of buzzed up because I use it to cook so much more. But if you're making this sauce and you don't have to chop it this fine, you could do loose chunks and just toss it in, depending on how strong your food processor is. All right. Over here we have some cumin, about a teaspoon and a half's worth. Right. In here is smoked paprika. Smoked paprika gives the sauce a little more smokiness without making it extra spicy, because we're already going with, you know, equal parts bird pepper and cayenne pepper. Together it's about a teaspoon's worth. You could adjust it as needed depending on how spicy you like your things, right? We're gonna do a dash of cider vinegar, some olive oil, and some lemon juice. Alright, so just take a look at how gorgeous that looks. That bright green, that herby, spicy combination is really perfect with your fish. This will last for quite some time, and this makes an amazing marinade. I've marinated chicken in this and grilled. It's fantastic.